Kawasaki.
You know, when I first started that new layout, I decided on two things initially. One, that layout would be much longer, so I could run longer consists if I ever wanted to. And two, whenever I actually started it, I would invest in other types of rolling stock, since every time we see a running session, it's typically freight and the same freight train at that. Well, if you saw yesterday's video, you know exactly what we're talking about today. And that is finally changing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Hornby third class open carriages. Now, truth be told, there's a couple reasons I went with these instead of, say, a traditional coach. That is, well, one, they are a beautiful color. Me and my fiance both agree on that. And two, they're just odd. They look just weird enough, you know, kind of like trucks, to where when I do run enthusiast trains on the new layout, they're gonna instantly turn heads. I mean, just look at them. And I guess on that note, let's talk about the box. It also is this beautiful light blue here on the front. We see some pictures of the wagons themselves. In this pack, we get 3. Here on the top, we have a Hornby logo and the Rocket logo. And of course, the bottom, which tells you what you got, the L&MR third class open carriages. What I really like about this box is the back. It seems Hornby finally heard my one critique and added some descriptions about what this is here. Now, we'll get more into the history of these things later, but feel free to pause and read that if you want. That is just alone, a huge improvement. But to be fair, it's kind of expected. These coaches, I think, are 77 pounds, so just call it about $100. $100 for 3 coaches. Yeah, the box better be pretty. And besides that, we also have a Rocket logo here. We have a National Railway Museum bit of information here at the bottom, or letting you know that that's what this is from. And the sides are done in gold and show you a side view of the carriages, as well as another NRM thing, and that is on both sides. So yeah, that's pretty much the box, and it opens pretty much like a traditional Hornby loco does, just like so. You peel this top layer off, and boom, ladies and gentlemen, here are the coaches. Jesus, that is a lot of... Okay, so that's why they're 77 pounds. These look very detailed, and we haven't even got them out of the box yet. Now, in this layer, we have another light blue box. It looks like it's the exact same design, save for the illustrations. Well, no, it's on the back on this other box, but there's nothing here on the sides or the front, save for the window. We have another Rocket logo here on the top, and this should open like a more traditional box, like so. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, is that foam? This is foam. Okay, so it looks like this is foam. I didn't notice that until I opened it, but yeah, these are foam. You know, kind of starting to think that was a terrible idea. It won't open from the top, so I'm gonna try to push it from the bottom. Come, please. Come on. Why will this not come out of the bottom? Am I doing something wrong? I don't think I'm doing something wrong. I don't want to mess up the box, but I mean, I might have to just to get the damn thing's free from it. Come on. Come on. Y'all, I am not exaggerating. It will not come out of the box. What is wrong with this thing? Get the fuck out. Okay, there we go. Come on. Come on. No, I'm going to end up messing up the wagons if I keep... Oh, I'm going to have to mess up the box. Hornby, what were you thinking? Maybe this was not a good idea. This is not wanting to cooperate with me at all. Please just come out of the box. It's already ripping. We're just going to... Come on. Come on. Where's my X-Acto? We're doing it the full way. We're just gonna follow that seam line right down the middle, like so, and screw it. Just there we go. Is it glued? It was fucking glued. Look at that. Those are glue marks. It was stuck to the... Hornby, you guys are pieces of work sometimes. You know that? That just actual pieces of work. Well, you may have to destroy the fucking box to get them, but I mean, there we go. We finally got it open, and yeah, looks like these are... Okay, so we have the area here on the back where we can push them out ever so slightly. I'm gonna move that over there. Looks like here we have a detail pack, I assume, and here are the coaches. There's no protective layer on top of this. Once this is out, it's out. But that alone in itself is a challenge, I guess. Let's go ahead and get this first one out here. Okay, that is a lot more light than I expected. I'm not gonna lie. This thing is very freaking light. There's no weight to this at all. But to be fair, what it lacks in that, it's making up for in detail. These buffers look amazing, as we can see here. There's a lot of rivet work here on the side. These door handles look phenomenal. Now, the interior could be a bit better, and I'm sure some of you guys are confused. Where are the seats? These actually did not have them. People were expected to stand in these a lot of the time. So technically that's not inaccurate. That's just what you had to deal with if you rode third class. And I mean, just look at this thing. Look at the detail here on the side with the steps. The front looks amazing with these very small lining bits applied. These are very detailed little wagons, but I'm noticing something a little interesting. Now, those with keen eyes may have already noticed, how do you couple these things up? These things do not have hook and loop anythings. It's just these little nubs here at the front, or simulation hooks. And truth be told, I don't know. I'm asking that same question. I hope they're in here. I guess let's figure out if that's what this is. Thank God. Okay, so the chains are in here. This is how you will couple up the trucks together and to the train or the rocket if you have it. I am almost fresh out of 3 links, so yeah, that was going to be bad, but thankfully Hornby thought ahead and actually will give you the chains you need to hook these together. So those will, you know what I'm talking, you'll see when we put it together. Doing my best to do this as slowly as I can. These things have so much little detail and so little weight, I'm worried just taking them out of this will break them. So I'm gonna take my time doing that. All right, last one, slowly push that like so. Wiggle them out of there. And there we go, we have the coaches now all free. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and with that, we have all 3 free from their prisons and can finally take a look at them. It looks like they all made it out pretty safe. No detail appears to be missing, and nothing's floating around in here, so might have gotten lucky with that. You know, I can't lie, I'm still blown away by how much they managed to get on these very small coaches. I do wish they came with people or passengers already, and you think they would with such a high price point. I don't know if the detail makes up for that whole 77 pounds, but they are nice. I'll give it that. I want to say my biggest critique has nothing to do with the detail. These things look phenomenal. I mean, I wish the hooks were a bit more hook looking, but you know, that is what it is. Truth be told, it just comes down to weight. These things weigh literally nothing. It is taking the smallest amount. It would take maybe 2 ants to move these to wherever they wanted to. Like, trust me, these things won't even work as paperweights. Like, they wouldn't even hold this down if a gust came through. And to be fair, looking at it, adding weight may not have been the easiest thing, but I don't think anybody's gonna be looking at this, you know, undercarriage detail. Maybe you could have just left that not as detailed and put some weights under there. I don't know. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely noticeable, and I'm gonna have to knock some points off for that. I feel like weight and durability is, you know, one of the biggest things you should be paying for over detail, or maybe included right along with it. You're kind of just getting detail with this pack. But ladies and gentlemen, now that we have them out of the pack and can take a proper look at them up close, since I know this angle isn't really the best, let's take a closer look at each of them and learn a bit more about the third class carriages.
Having established the concepts of first and second class rail travel, it was only a matter of time before railway companies created a lower fare third class for the carriage of the working classes. Companies such as the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Railway, the Manchester and Leeds Railway, and the Sheffield, Ashton-under-Lyne and Manchester Railway all used open third-class carriages, mostly for standing passengers, but sometimes fitted with a rudimentary bench or benches. The L&MR considered the possibility of creating a third class as early as 1839, due largely to market pressure from the MB&BR and the M&LR, but the directors were afraid that, with its lower fares, it would draw passengers away from the first and second class trains. The introduction of third-class travel on the L&MR dates to April 1844, when the board ordered new enclosed second-class coaches to replace the older blue boxes, which were then downgraded to third class. The first of the L&MR third-class train services ran in October 1844 departing from Manchester at 6:30 and from Liverpool at 18:30.
Alright, so what's the verdict or final rating on our vintage Ada Jane and Mabel here? You know, part of me wants to say a smooth 8, but that packaging and how weightless these things are, it's gonna probably bring it to a 7.5, if not just 7. Truth be told, for $100, those are just not things I think you should ever have to worry about, and that headache of opening these things alone immediately docked at a point. So what more can I say? If you do want some interesting coaches that not only look amazing, but will always look cool behind any engine, I do recommend these, at least for that. They are very detailed, and they will almost certainly always look good, especially when we get some figures in there. But they're not perfect. They definitely could not only be heavier, but they could be cheaper, especially for what you're getting. It could be so much worse, though. They did manage to get quite a bit onto each of these things. I don't even think I pointed this out earlier. They have interior door detailing. That's pretty cool. I mean, come on. But again, they are far from a perfect rating or a 10 out of 10. I think 7.5 is pretty solid, pretty fair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and with that being said, let's try and hook these things together and run a train. Oh boy, this is already giving me anxiety. I am so not prepared for this, something is telling me. Okay, pull those out. Okay. All right. Oh, okay, so the chains themselves are not really, there's no slack to them. They're more of just a single piece mold, but that is how we will connect these things. That's probably going to happen a couple times, won't it? I guess solid connection between those two. Let's do the same for these ones. And I think the other ones are either just spares, or if you, you know, have the rocket or any other of these things and want to hook them up to it. I'm pretty sure they're making quite a few different types of wagons for the rocket range, like a horse van, I think a sheep van. And after this, I definitely will be looking at those. But for now, I think this will make any enthusiast train I plan to run pretty interesting. And we finally got them all hooked up with these things. So I think you guys know what that means. Come on, boys, wake the fuck up. That was, thank you so much, Toby.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.